In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a graph using a spreadsheet. Up here you can see I've already created a table. This is specific to the Blue Bottle Lab, and it shows one example where I have chosen a series of values for the mass of glucose and entered them in the table. And I've also shown the measurements for the time it takes for the solution to clear. I kind of marked this one as the control just for my own purposes. To make the graph, I'm going to select the entire set of data, and then up here there's a tool, this is using the OpenOffice spreadsheet, that shows a chart, and I'm going to click on that and it's going to give me a series of choices. I'm going to choose XY scatter because that's the kind of graph I want, and I'm going to choose the one that just has points. Now over here in the chart wizard, I'm just going to skip over to number 4, chart elements. I'm going to put a title, something like that. The x-axis needs to be labeled. That's going to be the mass of glucose. The y-axis is the time in seconds. And then just to make it look a little bit more the way I want, I'm going to put the x and y grid. I'm going to take off the legend because I don't really need it. And then when I click finish, I'll have the basic graph done. Now you notice the graph is right now selected and open for me to do more to it. There's other kind of things you can do to format it, but right now the main thing I want to do is add a trend line. So I'm going to right mouse click on one of the data points, and you see this menu comes up. I'm going to choose Insert Trend Line, and it defaults to a linear, but if it doesn't look like it's a straight line, you can try some of the other ones. I'm going to try, I think, an exponential one. And then at the bottom there are two checkboxes. There's one that says Show Equation and one that says Show Coefficient of Determination. I'm going to just choose those right now, then I'll explain what that means. So you see those points and that line or that curve fit pretty well. Over here it gave me an equation and something called the r-squared value. While I have it highlighted, I'm going to click up here on Format Selection so that I can kind of change that number to look a little bit nicer. So under Numbers, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to tell it that these are numbers, and then I'm going to just kind of set it to 3 decimal places kind of arbitrarily just so it doesn't have so many digits. I'm just going to drag things around until they're easy to read. So right now you can see that it gives me the equation for this curve that fits the points, and it also gives me what's called r-squared. You'll learn more about this in statistics, but for now it's just enough to know that when r-squared approaches 1, it means that your data fit your curve or your line very well. R-squared equals 1 would be a perfect fit. So if you think this is not the best possible fit, you can go back and click on that trend line. Oh, we got to be in the graph. Click on the trend line and you can format it, meaning you can test different trend lines. So let's say we go in there and click on that. Clicked on the wrong thing there. There we go. And then we can check and see, let's say, what if linear? We wanted to try linear and see if the r-squared is better, meaning higher or lower. When I click OK, I can see that the r-squared value actually went down, so that's not as good a fit as my original one. Once again, I can go back and format the trend line and try, let's say, logarithmic and see what that says. Again, I'm just kind of showing you different possibilities. That got a lot worse, so we're going to probably stick with that exponential trend line in this case. And that seems to fit the best out of the ones that I have choices of. Once you have your graph complete, you can basically choose it and then copy and paste it into your other document.